Nikki Haley hoping to clinch a victory in her home state of South Carolina, but polls show she is trailing behind former President Donald Trump. So how does she plan to close the gap? Let's bring in Trey Gowdy, former South Carolina congressman and host of Sunday Night in America, right here on Fox. Trey, it is so awesome to have you on here. Good to get you back.
Thank you.
So when it comes to South Carolina, I mean, Trump's still ahead in the polls there, but she says she's going to win with suburban women, independents. Like, how do you see this playing out?
She's really popular. I think the consensus is that she was a really good governor. But, you know, Sandra, the consensus is Tim Scott's a really good U.S. senator, and Donald Trump would beat him, too. He's one of my best friends in the world. But Donald Trump in 2016, I mean, the people were like fighting for second place. So I can't fully explain why my state is so enamored, more so even than some other states. But Nikki is both a really, really good past governor and likely to come in second to Donald Trump. And those two are not like conflicting thoughts to me.
All right, so let's take a look, Trey, at a Washington Post Monmouth poll and compare it to a poll back in September 2023 from the same organization. Donald Trump now 58%, Nikki Haley 32%, 2% would vote for others. Compare that to September when the others were way up there. But when you take a look at how those others broke down, now that the others are out of the race, I mean, they both benefited about even. And if it was held today, look, 80% of conservatives say they'd vote for Trump. 59% of somewhat conservatives say they'd vote for Trump. Nikki Haley wins the moderates. How do you think that is going to play out in South Carolina, which we should point out is an open primary?
It is an open primary, and there's not much reason for the Democrats to go to the poll on Saturday. I mean, Joe Biden's going to be the nominee. I don't know where it got written that Nikki Haley is not a conservative. She certainly was a conservative as a governor. I think the reality is that Donald Trump has a stranglehold on the state of South Carolina, and it doesn't matter. You can run Dabo Sweeney against him. You can run Shane Beamer or Dawn Staley. Donald Trump is going to win South Carolina. Now, having said that, he has to win the general election, and I'm not sure the way to do that is to criticize the person that you're running against. Certainly don't critique their outfits. Just win and act like you won, and leave the rest of it alone if you want to win in November.
Really interesting considering that new Fox News polling showing in Wisconsin, voters' choice for president, if voting now, their preference exactly split between Biden and Trump in that latest Fox News poll, 47-47. Georgia choice for president, if voting now, Fox News polling reveals Donald Trump victory 51% to Joe Biden 43%. Trey, I just wanted to ask you about the issues because we're covering all this happening in New York City, these illegal migrants attacking New York City police. You've got a migrant crisis that's happening not just in border states but all over the country today. The Washington Post Monmouth poll on the top issues, immigration. We saw in Iowa, New Hampshire, this rated over the economy for voters. And when it comes to polling on the immigration, this is by far and away a winning issue for Donald Trump. I mean, how does that change between now and November?
It only changes if the Republicans bail the president out by allowing for some border or immigration bill. That's one way it can change. I hate to sound so cynical, but that's one way it can change. But Sandra, you raise a really good point. If the border is number one and the economy is number two, then that's what the candidates should be talking about. Yep. They should not be talking about anything other than that. And ad hominem attacks, the president's going to need Nikki Haley supporters to win in November.
All right.
Whether he likes it or not, he's going to need people who don't currently support him to support him. And the way to do that is to act magnanimous, especially when you win.
Well, we'll see if he can do that. Trey, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Trey.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.